Semifinals of the Masters Mixed. Starting out with fadeaway here. And Bond Mid getting the first touch on the ball. Early 3 down as well for Worriers.
Yeah, Ambition down here bottom middle doing some work, laying down some fire. Not taking any damage himself. His teammates in position to get the camo. There's going to be 2 picks on each side, or 1 pick on each side, I should say. Oddball still being played here on bottom middle. Ambition going to get the pick there. Taking down 2 members. I do believe that is Centennials we got on the red team. Blue team is going to be Warriors. So, yeah, early ball time coming out of Warriors. Looking pretty hot right here. Starting.
Ball dropped.
Always nice to get the opening camo. Always nice to get the early lead. And especially nice if you're Ambition at top tower with the snipe. Didn't quite convert that kill, but he's sitting pretty here. He just needs to live, lay down shots, and let his teammates rack up the time.
Indeed, I mean 34 seconds and counting. Warriors coming out hot, killing spree out of the Ambition, looking to get the 6th kill. Quite dead side of Centennials. Again, Warriors coming out with the ball. I mean, this is one hell of a start for a team. I mean, they're doing a very, very good job. Just keep the pressure up here. Now Centennials have the ball in their possession, trying to get a quick move over here to green.
Absolutely, and I don't quite know about that move over to green. I would honestly have taken it mud, have an easier time of playing that ball. Just they weren't really set up to get much time, and because they weren't able to get it played, now Warriors is racking up more time still, and they're fast approaching the 50-point mark already in this round number 1.
Yeah, 50-point marks coming pretty quick, and you know, 2 picks going in favor of Warriors. They have a decent, I would say, a decent position here too. You know, obviously they can play the ball. We did get a flank coming out of Ferret there. Very nice flank coming out of him. I did not see that coming because it seemed like all 4 of them were towards Green and Nez. Completely distracted Centennials right there off the rip. And look, they're continuing to get ball time. Centennials have not been able to stop this hold over here on back D.
They have not, and what I keep seeing out of Centennials, unfortunately, is they keep single pushing. Warriors has done a really great job keeping them off balance, keeping them on a spawn cycle where they're constantly having 1 or 2 people just spawn away from each other. Excuse me. Warriors keeps Centennials on that cycle, keeps any kind of coordinated push from happening. Now we have Centennials finally touching the ball and getting not immediately slayed out, but they're already getting pushed immediately by Warriors, and now this is essentially Warriors' round to lose at this point.
Yeah, Warriors are doing a really solid job of just being quick, being aggressive, utilizing the damage that they put to get the picks. You know, they're not really taking their time. You know, once they get that initial damage, they're pushing quickly, putting the pressure on Centennials to make them make a move. And right now, there's a lot of, like, you know, solo plays like on the side of Centennials. And right now, the ball going back into the hands of Centennials. They're going to try to, you know, start getting some points on the board, but you know, Warriors only have 18 seconds left before they can close the first round out, and that's you know, that's a very good sign for a team like this who's 3-4 in the series. You know, this is how you want to play, coming right off the rip. They're just taking heads, man.
Very nice double kill from Shadow there. 3 down now for Warriors, and maybe now fadeaway work with his team, get a little time on the board. This is still perfectly winnable for Centennials, and Warriors, they don't want to step off the gas. They want to keep the pressure on, because keeping the pressure on works in their favor. The more that they are pushing, the more that they are keeping Centennials off balance, the easier of a time they're going to have, because they're making Centennials worry about, oh, the clock's counting down. Oh, they're getting like a couple, 3 more seconds, and they're closer to closing this round out. You don't want to give them time to coordinate a decent push.
No, you don't. You want to like keep them on their toes, play around the ball, but don't like give them any free kills. You know, just put damage. You know, work off their teammates damage that he puts, and then he or she puts, and then just slay off of that. You know, and right now, look, Warriors in position, getting ball time. 11 seconds left on the board, but Centennial's going to try to take possession back as they do. 3 go down for the side of Warriors, and Centennials have that opportunity now, but Shadow's going to go ahead and pick the ball up. Notice his teammates are going to be fighting in A, but he might have a majority of his teammates on the side near tower. Going to try to play that way, but Warriors going to try to cut them off.
Yeah, and I feel like some people might have thought, oh, maybe he should have gone to A, where that's where his teammate was, but that's where his one teammate was across the map. Better to go where your teammates are spawning, which is what they did. Unfortunately, ball guy was taken out by a flanker from Worriers, and Worriers, it looks like, oh, they're 3 dead actually. Centennials playing defense, showing life, but
Yeah,
they cannot. They have no room for mistakes now, fortunately.
That's what I was gonna say. You know, they got a lot of time. They got to recover here to get back to the lead. They're gonna need to prioritize some slays here at some point. The ball guy's gonna probably need to play it or drop it and fight. And looks like he's just gonna go ahead and play it. We got 3 down for Warriors, and Centennials might be aggressive. Might get a little bit more ball time, at least 4 or 5 seconds before Warriors are able to push.
Ball drop. Enemy has the ball.
What I want to really see here, though, is just Centennials got to strike a pretty delicate balance. They have to get the slays on Warriors. They cannot let them get the ball. They cannot let Warriors get basically any ball time. And unfortunately, that exact situation, you can't be away on this map in this situation from being able to play it. Warriors takes round number 1.
Yeah, they just did a good job playing around the ball. They got the slay. They prioritized the OBJ time, and then they took up map space a little bit, and played off the damage that they were able to create, and just kept Centennials kind of off foot, and made them. Honestly, I think Centennials also kind of like shot themselves in the foot, making a lot of solo plays. They did come back with a little bit of that ball time and were able to kind of close the gap, but. Looks like Warriors' teamwork is a little bit more solid off that first round, but second round can change. Maybe Centennials will be able to bring it back here.
That is right. Especially with oddball in Halo Infinite, it's not over until it's over. The way that clock will stop as soon as you grab the ball, there could be 1 second left. He can make a comeback happen, just as long as you don't drop anything.
Enemy has the ball.
Oh, I've seen some crazy stuff happen, especially in oddball. Multiple drops at the 1 second mark and pick up some. Well, camo player gonna get spotted, but Bellman couldn't quite take him down. 2 down for Centennials. Ball time in possession of Warriors. Getting that 12-second lead here right off the rip. Love to see it. Farriot doing a great job. Also trying to get information for his team, but he's gonna go ahead and play it for some.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that.
Yeah, that was an odd play, definitely.
I didn't really see a reason for that. You had one player Nest from Centennials. You had, well, okay, I guess if you can get 3 down like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was confusing Centennials specifically. I don't.
Very confusing play for us.
I mean, hey, I guess if you get 3 down like that after doing an odd thing like that, you can do what you like. Don't pay any mind to us out here in the booth.
Maybe they're just trying to play mind games. Choking me up here. But, he could have totally just dropped at top tower and then played out. I mean, they still had 4 up. But, hey, it worked for them. They're 51 points to Centennials 3. Doing a great job this second round as well. I mean, what is it, James, that you see here that Centennials needs to do?
Frankly, and I know this is going to sound counterproductive since the time keeps ticking down, literally. I mean, they're in the danger zone.
Yeah.
They have to, though, take the time to make a solid push, get a solid setup. They are too late in the game to try and get away with getting solo pushes and scrappy time. They need a solid push, and then they need a good, solid setup to hold. if they keep doing solo pushes, or they keep trying to, you know, make the montage plays, they will lose this game.
I really think though, because like I've been in this position where at some point in my Halo, I wouldn't call it too much of a career, but you know, my Halo career, where you got a near perfect record, right? You're 7-0. That can spell disaster for certain. You know? And if you focus on that record, trying to keep it perfect, and you're not thinking about the plays, you know, you kind of let that get into your head a little bit, that you got to be perfect, and then you start doing, you know, silly stuff like we see here with, you know, the solo pushing. I think that's. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening, but it seems like Warriors have really, you know, they've gotten. They're the team that's lower seated here. You know, their season to me was the one that was on the line because they have the lesser record. But you know, they're coming out fully confident in themselves. Where it seems like, I don't know, like maybe Centennials might not have the same confidence. It's kind of an odd peculiar thing. Sometimes I feel like that's what happens to have that good record, that, you know, like they let it maybe get to their heads a little bit. That I don't know.
Certainly, and like I was saying in the beginning, nothing fails like success, and it's really easy when you've had a really successful pool like Centennials has, where they beat every single team in their pool. It's really easy to then come in here and, especially if I'm checking to see if they've actually played in this team. Yes, they did. They did play Worriers in pool play earlier in the season and beat them 3-2. And I will say from personal experience, there's nothing that is harder than running into a team you beat in the winner's bracket of a tournament in the loser's bracket. They're going to want redemption. I think that's definitely the case for Warriors here as they take.
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose your fights. You don't want to take too much damage and overchallenge some of these situations. But we're gonna have Rengar off the rip, get the first pick in the game. Gonna take down Spellman to put Warriors up 2-0. Actually, make that 2-1 as Centennials kind of bounce back there. But they have map control over here towards the side of purple. Cutthroat, though, laying down some damage. This is the moment right here. Like, he didn't over-challenge that. He kind of put himself out in the open a little bit, but he backed down instantly. That's the kind of plays you want to see in Slayer. You want to live your life to the fullest, but Camo's going to get taken down. That's going to be licked, going to the death screen. That's going to be 2 down for Centennials, 1 down for Warriors at the 2-kill lead here for Warriors to start it off.
Yeah, and that was a big kill to get rid of the camo from Warriors. Yeah, oh, good gracious me, look at that shot. Oh, hit the wrong button, unfortunately, at that point, but hey, extend the lead to 4 kills. As we trade out, it still is 4 kills. Both these teams keeping us on our toes. Now Warriors, again, I feel like they are, again, pushing in a solo fashion. They're not really as coordinated, they aren't really on the same page as Warriors. I keep seeing these solo pushes or maybe duo pushes, whereas Warriors, you always have 1 or 2 people watching each other in any given time.
Yeah, I mean, Warriors are kind of playing a position game. They're holding map control. You saw Ambition kind of like hanging out there by Trash, not really exposing himself a whole lot, but they're taking full advantage of the fact that it seems like Centennials are not playing together. Look at that, like 2, I wouldn't say necessarily solo plays, but they were definitely not looking together, same person. They were fighting different fights, and the damage was coming in from multiple angles for Warriors. And now they're about to try and capitalize on another camo, but Ambition's going to go down. Cutthroat making the kill there, shotgun in hand. He's off kind of by himself though here.
Yeah, and he's facing down the camo player in Farriot. Oh, gets the kill. Very nice. That's a huge one right there. And it's amazing how much things like that can turn the tide. You know, they're still down 7 kills. They're still not in a real great spot, but things could have gotten real bad if Warriors had picked up a camo shoddy, for example.
Oh
This
yeah,
is-
indeed.
Yeah, this is again like this is not in any kind of way unwinnable for Centennials.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, the last match we had here on the last series, we had it. We had a team down by 10 kills for a majority of the game. Plastic was able to, come back and make it a 1-kill game at the very end. Unfortunately, it was that last push that had killed it. But Centennial is definitely, even though they're down 9 at the current moment, it's still a very winnable game. If you play your cards right. So you got shots coming out of Shadow with the Stalker, laying down some heavy damage, good stuff. But yeah, another pick, 2 picks coming out for Centennials. Maybe make it 3 here in just a moment. They can connect that one. But yeah, I mean, still very much a game that you could potentially.
Indeed, it is. But again, we're just seeing like they don't seem to really be fighting the same people. And as simple as a concept as that is, it matters quite a lot in a team slayer, especially when kills are the currency of the land. And we're getting to a real crucial point here. We're past the 30 kill mark, essentially the halfway point, and Warriors was able to, looks like, burn camo again, even though they didn't make much use of it. That denies it to Centennials at least. They're up by 9 kills, was 10 just a minute ago. They're in a real good place. They just need to keep playing their game, keep making Centennials play their game.
I don't really think they're going to slow down. Warriors have been keeping the pressure up, repositioning themselves, not trying to, overchow as much as we see Centennials. And I think, like, when you talked about the mindset of, like, the individual fights, they're not looking at the same people. It really comes down to that. Like, you got to have that mindset that I need to be playing for my team. And, like, when everybody, all 4 players on that team are looking for individual fights, you're looking for whatever damage you can. That doesn't really help out the other guy. Like it might make it a hard time for the player that you're shooting in the back or whatever. But if you're not shooting with your team, you're not doing much. You're not that damage could be useless.
Absolutely. The phrase useless damage is used and quite a bit. And it makes a lot of sense. If you have, you might put 3-4 shots into somebody and then they run away, get behind a corner, his teammates save his life, and then you die. What have you really gained? Okay, you did some damage. Basically, good for you. What did that really accomplish? Except give the other team a free kill as we're getting down to 40 kill mark, essentially. Ooh. Liquor trying to make a play there, but Centennials is starting to play more together now. I kind of feel like we're watching game 1 again, where initially they were just playing very individually, not really helping each other the way that Warriors was, and now they're bringing it back.
It seems like they started playing together here towards the end because they need to slow down the game. So they're kind of like hunkering back, like in the same area, and that's what kind of played it out for them. And now they're once again at a 5-kill deficit. Make that 6. They did a great job there, and I think that just lends the hand to like the fact that they had to slow down the game. They can't just continue to press on because Warriors are at that 40 kill mark, past it now, clearly past it, like with 43 kills, and it's very detrimental that you do not give up any more deaths if you want to at least have a shot and potentially contest.
And here's Spellman, who's been having a bit of a rough game, actually. He's unfortunately 1-13, the poor guy.
Been to Olive Garden tonight, hadn't he?
Okay. Oh dear.
Call
Olive Garden. At least it isn't a goose egg.
Yeah, I like Olive Garden. But yeah, I mean, I've had some rough here, especially a couple stream as well. I don't let it get to you.
Indeed. That's going to be one of the crucial things. Spellman cannot let this get to him in any kind of way as we move into what's going to be game number.
It could really turn the tides, with just a simple tweak to your mindset. So starting off here, we got Ranger. I said Ranger on board, getting an early pick, and I don't know. I think they got the camo. I'm not sure who got it though.
Yeah, it's off map, but I'm not seeing who's picked it up, unfortunately. Here we have Cutthroat fighting 2 people in Whirlpool. Gets the pick on 1. Unfortunately, does not get the second. We have Ambition pushing into gold now as... Oh, he's our camo player. Look at that.
There he is.
Comboing the wall because the wall looked at him funny. Looks like the camo might have run out, but he's gotten away with snipe. He's got control of gold. He's got a lot of cover to work with here. He simply needs to just find his angles and beat the hill.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time going in the favor of the Warriors.
Yeah,
They've scrapped a bunch of.
Yeah, especially this middle hill. It's scrappy. You have cover to work with, but you also have a lot of places where you can be shot from. And, you know, Warriors has all the time in the world, essentially. They can trade, they can go in a spawn cycle and still cap on this hill. They just need essentially one good push to be the first on the board.
Yeah, Centennials put quite a big chunk there as well. Unfortunately, they're going to go 3 day. Looks like we're going to see Warriors capitalize on this. Lakers going to go ahead and jump in it. Teammates got control of gold. Now they might have a decent, you know, avenue to push here for the next hill. We do still have 2 down for Centennials. So this is the moment where Warriors could really push, get that second hill, and get some early time on the board in that one as well.
And it looks like they aren't immediately pushing for camo. Neither team is. I feel like they're trying to bait each other out, but unfortunately, here we have a bit more of a solo push from Centennials. That ends up buying them in the rear as Liquor unfortunately does not get away with camo, but does burn it. Shadow coming in with a double. 3 down now for Worriers, and Shadow stepping up for his team, trying to get them their first point in this game.
Yeah, definitely got to get the second hill. You don't want to really go down 2-0 to Warriors if you're trying to stick in it. I mean, Centennials right now doing a great job of trying to control this area. It does look like we are going to see some picks coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Spellman go down. Another rough start for him.
You know, we were talking earlier about staying alive, picking your battles, shooting the same thing, but that also comes down to individually, you know, taking certain fights. Sometimes it's better, especially when you have a teammate next to you, know that your teammate is there to help you. Know that they are there to fight that enemy with you. You don't have to challenge necessarily. You can take cover and frustrate the other team as they're trying to kill you. Liquor feeling himself a little bit with that push. That was bold. Put it nicely.
Yeah,
I guess
it somehow plays out for him.
Yep, his team came in there and helped him out.
Yeah, just a tribute to their team where Warriors are really pulling it out here tonight. They're looking to shut this series out as quick as possible. Look at that, more hill time, quarter of the way for the third point. Can't quite connect the shock rifle. Sorry, is that Farriot? I can't.
What? Farriot, yes.
Yeah, Farriot goes down, unfortunately. Still up, but
I keep seeing again, it's the solo pushes. It's the, here, let me sit in the hill for 2 seconds when my team's 3 down. It's just...
The other thing I see too is they're kind of lingering on long haul a little bit too long. They needed to quickly push out because now they've given Warriors too much time in the hill.
And again, as we've been saying throughout the night, it's not as if they can't cap this hill. It's not as if it's a foregone conclusion just because the R team has that much time, but it just makes everything that much harder. All they gotta do is just touch the hill. Just gotta dip their little pinky toe in it, and then they're gonna be up 3-0, and then the room for mistakes is 0.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you can't. If you make too many mistakes at that point, you could potentially give this team the opportunity to come back. But it looks like we're going to see that third point go on the board. Nope, make that. Actually, not going to get a pick. Ambition laying down some shots. His teammate might be there to cutthroat up here in the red pipe door. Looks like Centennials are still contesting this hill. I mean, but now the third point's going to go on the board for Warriors. This is where the Centennials have their backs against the wall. Warriors have everything to lose. Right? They have all the points on the board, so they need to play perfect halo here. They can kind of take their time. They don't have to do anything drastic. So they can just slay if they want.
This early at the 3-minute mark, I wouldn't be playing time, but this is also a team that played the ball out of nowhere on live fire. So who knows with these guys?
When I mean don't rush, you can literally sit back and damage whoever gets the kill and keep them constant, at a loss for damage. Keep the advantage in your favor. But they do need to get their foot in there. They do need to get time, because you still got 2.5 minutes left. You don't want to give any points to the other.
Yeah, and if it was like a minute or less on the clock, I would say, yeah, sit back. Let the art team panic rush the hill constantly, trying to milk whatever little bit of time that they can. But in this case, I would say no. There's still a little bit under 3 minutes left on the clock. You got to push this hill. You would want to score that point. And now we see Centennials on the board and showing a little bit of life.
Yeah, finally they've managed.
Yeah, let's see if they can continue this at the bottom middle hill. This is I don't know. I do not like that hill, especially when you're in this kind of situation where, again, no room for mistakes, no room for any kind of nonsense. You can't let the R team scrap too much time, and unlike the Batteries hill, unlike even C plat or blue pipes, it is probably the worst place to be on this map.
This is also one of them hills where you can kind of just stall the other team from getting time and kind of waste some time too. But if you kind of go in there and desperate it, you're probably gonna get slayed and give them.
That is correct, and
it's such wide open.
That it certainly is, and again, this is the dilemma for Worriers. Do they play the clock, or do they go for the final hill point? I would say go for that final hill point. Playing the clock does not work in your favor here.
No, because all it takes is 1 or 2 slays to not work for you, and you go to the death screen, and then you give them 20-30 seconds to kill them. So that's.
Oh dear. Ninja.
Kind of a weird ninja, don't you think?
That it was. And that was a very bold challenge, but shoot, at this point, put out all the stops. What do you have to lose realistically?
Yeah, honestly, if you're Warriors, honestly, now that I think about it, you could just keep bum rushing till and just keep constant pressure on. Just keep dipping your toes in and out over and over.
They certainly can, as they're right on the cusp of it. Centennials has essentially one more push to do anything here, and Flicker with the camo playing it perfectly.
Enemy team took the hill.
Yeah, indeed they are. They're going to go ahead and get some. Centennials trying to get some time. Spellman trying to make a last-minute attempt, though. He's going to help get the assist. Get some hill time, laying down some damage on bottom blue. Does fall to the hands of Liquor, I believe. 3 dead for Centennials. Not the odds you need here. Try to capture the kill.
That's too little, too late, sadly.